Edgar Allan, a novel. Chapter 16. It was a pretty short, serious talk that night. Mary Nell was so worked up about the whole thing she couldn't talk any more, so she went up to her room. There wasn't much for me to do either, or to say. I figured whatever had to be said, Father could say to MN or to Mother or to anyone else. So I got up and went for a walk by myself. There were lots of things to think about. There were two things I figured. For one, you had to admire her in a way. She knew her feelings were wrong, but what she felt, and that was that. At least she wasn't pretending to anything, which is pretty honest. For the other, it suddenly hit me that maybe Mary Nell wanted to be a friend of mine. After I got over being mad at her about my kings and barons, it came to me that maybe she thought my special world was okay after all, and it might even be interesting if she could get into it. MN wasn't mad at me for saying what I had said about my life not being ruined by Edgar Allan. She was mad because she knew it was true, because I sort of had things organized in my head. So I decided I would try to be a little kinder to MN than before and see if she really did want to be friends. It wouldn't be very easy because she wasn't always very nice, but I could try a little anyway. Then I thought about God. What I thought wasn't much, except that our serious talk seemed to be one of those places where he wasn't. In fact, as I thought about it, he hadn't been around much anywhere in our town then. That must mean something, I thought, if what Mother says is right. So I promised myself to be on the lookout for him more, in both places at home and in the town too. And then my old ugly feeling came back. It hit when I realized that a lot of the good things Mother had to say to MN, Father should have said. And I couldn't help worrying just a little about EA. Nothing serious, though. My stomach just wouldn't take serious worrying. So I pushed the worried thoughts away and decided that on the walk that someday I would write this book. It would be a way of explaining to Edgar Allan, when he couldn't read naturally, what had happened in our family and in our town. So he would know, I guess, that his main problem wasn't what he was, but what he looked like. No one seemed to care that he was happy and smart and cute. All that mattered was that he was black. I figured out I would start writing my book too, but then of course I forgot about it until now. I was going to start by talking to him, trying to explain simply what prejudice was. It was supposed to be something like this. Michael, Edgar Allan would say, "Do you know what prejudice is?" "Yes, EA, I do." "What?" he would ask me then. It's when no one likes you," I answered. "But why? Why doesn't anyone like you?" EA says. "Because," I answered, "just because."